It doesn't matter what audio interface I use, the XLR ports never seem to be where I want. The front, the back, too low on the desk, angled in a weird way, no more. This video is sponsored by Hover. Stay tuned until the end of the video to learn how you can get a super cheap domain name and take your career to the next level. $15 gets you a right angle male to female XLR adapter that can help you get your XLR plug going exactly where you want. If it's facing the wrong way, inside the male adapter here, you actually just unscrew this screw and then rotate it the way that you need to, screw it back in, and bam, it's facing the other way. This may seem super simple, but when you've plugged and replugged enough XLR setups or gotten annoyed enough at the direction of your XLR cables, this can help a lot, especially for scenarios where you have, for example, the Go XLR up on its stand and then the XLR cable is just awkwardly shooting up top. This helps you pull it around back, or you could stack two of these together to take a front-facing XLR port and feed it to the back, though at the cost of potentially blocking the top controls of your interface. Once your microphone is hooked up how you like, you might notice that your keyboard is making a whole lot of noise that you don't want your audience to hear. The first step would be getting you a lovely VHS-themed desk mat from EposVox.gg/merch to help absorb some of that boominess going through to your desk. But after that, $13 gets you this little baggie right here. These might look like replacement bands for your braces, but in fact they're O-rings for mechanical keyboards. Mechanical keyboards tend to produce sound in two ways: the click of a tactile switch as it actually actuates and sends the keystroke to your computer, and the bottoming out of the keystem hitting your keyboard as you press it all the way against the board. Tactile switches are easier on my hands because I'm less likely to bottom them out in general, but some switches, like MX Blues for example, tend to be quite harsh on the ears when you do bottom them out. But these O-rings help produce that. They basically act as a bumper pad to keep you from bottoming out, absorbing both some of the force, of you actually bottoming out, as well as some of the sound that is produced, since instead of plastic hitting plastic, it's just rubber hitting plastic. These can be a bit tedious to install, and they won't be compatible with more exotic key stems, but it's probably time you cleaned your keyboard anyway, so just throw these on when you're done giving it a good scrub. I guess this episode of ThriftCast is audio heavy, because next up we have a gaming headset. Yeah, really. Don't tune out just yet. For $76, just $76, you get some premium features that used to be, when I started reviewing gaming headsets, exclusive to much higher end headsets, such as a detachable microphone, a locking detachable cable, and that cable is also soft braided and has an inline mute switch and volume dial. The cable isn't very long, but they do include a bag to keep it in and a 4-pole to dual 3.5mm adapter for compatibility. Comfort is fine for a solid band headset because it's not heavy enough to really weigh down the top of your head too much, and the ear pads are soft but not super dense. While obviously people feel one way or another about gaming headsets, I think this is perfect for the console gamer or console streamer who just wants to connect their headset to their controller or to the ChatLink Pro to stream that audio like we showed in last month's episode, and to not think too much about it. Cooler Master isn't selling you on some awful virtual surround nonsense or overplaying how great it'll sound. It's just a basic closed back gaming headset that gets the job done. Sound-wise, it's not particularly detailed, but the bass is also conservative and doesn't overpower the sound, which is great for gaming. Without some EQing, you might not have the most, precise far-range footstep senses, but it's good enough for most gaming, and sound isolation is actually pretty solid too. Mic-wise, well, you're hearing it now. It's a gaming headset microphone, but it's better than a laptop's built-in mic or many cheaper headsets for sure. You just gotta master positioning and maybe some post-processing. This is a test before post-processing. This is a test after post-processing. Now that your audio is situated, video still needs to be addressed. If your viewers can't see you at all, you can fix that for $23. This right here is the iFru HD webcam. In the broad market of cameras and webcams, it sucks. Calling it 1080p is generous for the video it provides, and it only does 30 FPS at any resolution. It's USB 2.0, so you only get pre-compressed MJPEG and H.264 video streams, and the manual settings aren't configured correctly, like most cheap webcams. But it's $23. If you're just video conferencing, teaching, or doing your first stream, this is literally all you need. Before buying anything expensive as an upgrade, you can look into free tools like NVIDIA Broadcast or the gamut of OBS plugins to make it look a little bit nicer, and there's nothing wrong with doing this. If you do upgrade to another camera down the line, you can still use this one for a secondary camera angle or a mouse or keyboard cam, project or overhead cam, that kind of thing. You'll need an active USB extension cable since iFru didn't utilize a detachable cable with this option, but it has a monitor clamp, pivoting ball head, and a tripod threaded tap, so mounting options are plentiful. Your viewers or callers can see you now, but can you see them? Acer has a high refresh rate monitor for only $130. This is definitely reaching the top end of what I'd consider budget for this series, and I'd honestly recommend looking on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace to get a used monitor before buying new. But this SB220Q monitor gets you 21.5 inches, minimal bezels, and 75 Hz at Full HD. Most streamers or computer users in general lately immensely benefit from dual monitors, so picking this up for your chat or monitoring OBS is a no-brainer. The monitor is IPS type, which means that colors and viewing angles will be great compared to TN panels, and it runs at 75 Hz, so if this happens to be your main monitor, or something that you'll travel with, you'll have a pretty smooth gaming experience as well. My only gripe is the lack of VESA mounting support. I honestly don't think monitors should just be allowed to release without VESA mounting, but it's super thin and lightweight, so you could get creative with it, of course. What's better than cheap? Free! And this is the free app segment of the show, and we actually have a 2-for-1 for this month, as I think the two go hand in hand. The first app is WizTree. This is a tool that will scan your hard drives and show you a visual map of what is eating up space on it so that you can manage and reclaim some space. I often have random caches or temporary files that get bloated, and I no longer need them, and this makes it easy to sniff those out and clear things up. You may have also heard of Windorstat. This is like that, but a super fast version of it. WizTree only takes a few seconds to scan your drive, whereas Windorstat could often take minutes and minutes just to show drive contents. Once you've analyzed your drive and done any basic garbage cleanup, you can then use the second program, Compactor, to freely compress your files and reclaim all kinds of space. Compactor leverages the fairly new file system compression introduced in Windows 10. But also works with Windows 11, of course, and gives you a full GUI for that built-in tool that allows you to squeeze so much more space out of your hard drives. This leverages modern compression algorithms, which run super lightweight, and you get zero performance detriment while you're actually using this. It's honestly like magic. I've been using it for a few weeks while waiting on a bigger boot SSD to show up in the mail, and it's been a lifesaver. What has also been a lifesaver has been getting a cheap domain name quickly with Hover. I needed a cool .shop domain for my Etsy shop, and I was able to find the right domain with lots of alternate suggestions, buy it cheaply, and forward it to my Etsy shop in a matter of minutes. If you're watching videos like this to build your streaming or content creation career, you should strongly consider building a website for your own platform independent presence, or at the very least setting up a cool email with your own domain using their email services so that you have something professional to use when reaching out to companies for brand deals or collaborations. For a blazing fast domain buying experience with over 400 domain extensions, including awesome ones like .live or .stream, those seem relevant, as well as award-winning customer support, head over to hover.com/EposVox and save 10% on your new online home. If that's not enough money saving for you, watch the first episode of ThriftCast to dive in on a lot more budget gear goodness, or check out this playlist of OBS plugins to keep getting more out of your free streaming software. Be kind, rewind.